Every year, the small town of Millfield eagerly awaits the haunted harvest festival. But this year, mysterious happenings in the pumpkin patch have left the community shrouded in unease. As the festival approaches, rumors swirl of eerie sights and sounds emanating from the fields, where once only the rustle of leaves and the distant hoot of owls could be heard. This is not just any pumpkin patch. It's said to be cursed, a place where the veil between this world and the next is perilously thin. The story begins with a father, Jonathan, who has made it a tradition to visit the pumpkin patch every October with his young son, Ethan. On one chilly evening, as they wandered through the rows of plump gourds, Ethan spotted an exceptionally large pumpkin. As they approached, Jonathan noticed a strange symbol carved into its side, a pattern he had never seen before. He brushed it off as a prank, but Ethan was insistent, pulling at his father's sleeve and begging him to leave. That night, as Jonathan tucked Ethan into bed, he couldn't shake the image of that peculiar symbol. The room was dimly lit by the soft glow of a nightlight, and everything seemed normal until Ethan, with wide eyes and a trembling voice, asked his father to check for monsters under the bed. Jonathan chuckled softly, a nightly ritual they both enjoyed, and got down on his knees to take a look. Under the bed he saw Ethan, pale and trembling. The boy whispered, "Daddy." The boy whispered, "Daddy." "There's someone on my bed." Jonathan's heart pounded as he looked up to see Ethan still lying in bed, the same frightened expression on his face. It was impossible, yet there it was, a doppelganger under the bed. He quickly pulled his real son into his arms, but the memory of that moment lingered. The next day, Jonathan couldn't shake the feeling that something was dreadfully wrong. As the haunted harvest festival drew nearer, other townsfolk began reporting strange occurrences in the pumpkin patch. Children spoke of shadowy figures moving among the pumpkins, their whispers carried by the wind. A farmer, old Mr. Thompson, claimed he saw ghostly apparitions, misty forms that vanished as quickly as they appeared. He warned the town, but most dismissed his tales as the ramblings of an old man who had seen too many harvests. Despite the growing unease, preparations for the festival continued. The pumpkin patch, usually a place of joy and laughter, now felt oppressive, as if an unseen force watched from the shadows. One night, Sarah, a local historian, decided to investigate. Armed with only a flashlight and her curiosity, she ventured into the patch, determined to uncover the truth behind the legends. Sarah discovered an ancient book hidden in the back of the town library, dusty and forgotten. It spoke of a dark history, a tale of a vengeful spirit bound to the land, seeking retribution for wrongs committed long ago. The symbol Jonathan had seen was a mark of this spirit, a warning to those who dared trespass on its domain. As she read, the temperature in the room seemed to drop, and she felt a cold breath on her neck. Her investigation led her to an old farmhouse on the edge of town, where she met Mrs. Eldridge, a woman well versed in the town's folklore. Mrs. Eldridge revealed that the curse dated back to the early settlers, who had unwittingly disturbed a sacred burial ground while planting their first crops. The spirit, angered by the disturbance, had cursed the land, ensuring that anyone who visited the pumpkin patch would encounter its wrath. Sarah knew she had to act quickly. With the help of Jonathan, Ethan, and a few brave souls from the town, they devised a plan to appease the spirit. They gathered at the pumpkin patch under the light of a full moon, performing a ritual Mrs. Eldridge had taught them, hoping to lift the curse once and for all. As they chanted, the ground shook and a ghostly figure rose from the earth. It was the spirit, eyes filled with sorrow and rage. But as Sarah explained their intentions and offered a heartfelt apology on behalf of the town, the anger in the spirit's eyes seemed to fade. With a final mournful sigh, it vanished into the night, leaving the pumpkin patch still and silent. The next morning, the town awoke to find the eerie atmosphere had lifted. The pumpkin patch, once a place of fear, was now filled with a sense of peace. The festival went on, more joyous than ever, and the mysterious happenings became a tale to be told around campfires and passed down through generations. As you drift off to sleep tonight, remember the story of the haunted harvest and the mysterious happenings in the pumpkin patch. Not all tales have happy endings, but sometimes understanding and kindness can conquer even the darkest of curses. Sweet dreams, and may you never find yourself under the watchful eyes of a vengeful spirit.